All right, is everybody ready? If y'all want to come a little bit closer, stand out.
Got your back.
Yeah.
So if I don't stop live screen.
Uh-huh. We ready? I want to thank everybody for coming this morning. We have an update on our case with Kamarie. For the last several weeks, the Sheriff's Office here and the Columbus Police Department and Muskogee County Sheriff's Office has been working continuously on our case against Mr. Williams. And yesterday afternoon at around 1 o'clock in Columbus, we were able to arrest Christy Sipple, who is also known as Christy Hoskins. She was arrested there at the Circle K on Victory Drive. We had asked the U.S. Marshals Fugitive Task Force to help us locate her. They were gracious enough to do that and assist us with this case, and they were able to pick her up. She was taken to a judge in Columbus where she signed her waiver of extradition to come back and answer the charges in Alabama. She was brought back to the Sheriff's Office by our investigators, and she was placed in the jail. She has been charged with murder during the course of kidnapping, murder during the course of rape, murder during the course of sodomy, and human trafficking. She was sent to the court this morning at 9 o'clock. She saw Judge Gray, and he set no bonds on all of her charges. So she will be held at this time in the Russell County Jail under no bond on those 4 charges. We expect that we will also have charges coming for Mr. Williams. We expect in the next couple of days he will be charged with capital murder during the course of kidnapping, capital murder during the course of rape, capital murder during the course of sodomy, production of child pornography. Currently, Mr. Williams is being held in the Russell County Jail under a no bond for capital murder of a person less than 14. So these charges that we anticipate coming in the next few days on him will be in addition to what he is currently in the facility. I hope you understand that this conference is limited. We can't get into what we would normally get into, so I appreciate your understanding of that and respecting the judge's orders so that we can give these defendants a fair trial. I want to thank Columbus PD. I want to thank the Muskogee County Sheriff's Office and the Federal Marshals Fugitive Task Force for assisting us in this case. There's been a lot of cooperation between my office and Columbus Police Department, especially with this case with Kamarie, and this case has really affected a lot of the officers in both departments. And so I want to thank them for the work that they've done and let the community know that we're doing everything we can to bring justice for this little girl. Behind me is Assistant Chief District Attorney Rick Chancey with the Russell County DA's office, and then Assistant Chief Fitzpatrick and Chief Blackman of the Columbus Police Department. I will give any of them an opportunity to make some statements. Just understand that it won't be details of the case. Chief.
Good morning. As Sheriff Taylor has previously mentioned, our departments are working very closely together regarding this case. And as we continue to develop information and evidence, we'll continue to be able to go forward with the case. At this time, there's very limited information that I will be able to share, as was previously stated. But I do want to say that if there is anyone who has any information regarding this case, to please contact the Columbus Police Department at 706-653-3400. If you want to remain anonymous, you can contact us at 706-653-3188. So again, we're working very closely with Russell County Sheriff's Office and Sheriff Taylor as we work to bring this case to a successful result. Thank you.
Good morning. I'm going to respect the judge's order today and keep my statements just to the public record and the public proceedings. The sheriff's already read you the charges that have been filed already and those that the sheriff's office expects to bring here in the next few days. Just from a process standpoint, you could expect that Ms. Sipple will either be retaining an attorney or being appointed an attorney. And at some point in the near future, I would expect both of these to ask for a preliminary hearing, at which time we will be able and be ready to present the evidence that we have so far as to show what the probable cause is that resulted in these arrests. So from a procedural standpoint, that will be the next major thing I think that will happen in this case is a preliminary hearing. I don't have a date yet on either one. It'll be at the court schedule. From the preliminary hearing, these cases will be then sent to the Russell County Grand Jury, and all of the evidence that has been gathered thus far and any further evidence that comes in will be presented at that grand jury, from which indictments I expect will be issued and these cases will proceed to trial. I have made some copies today of the warrants that were filed, and I'll pass those out if you want copies of those. We are limited only giving you what's public record. These are still active investigations and ongoing investigations. So don't know yet what other, if any, charges may be filed in this, but the cases are not officially closed. They're still under investigation, and we'll continue to receive information from Columbus and the Sheriff's Department as to whether to proceed on any other matters when we get to grand jury. So both, I would expect Mr. Williams will need to come in for another 72-hour hearing once he's arrested on these other warrants, and that would probably be sometime next week. I don't know, Ms. Sipple I think has been charged with all that she is currently being charged with, and she made her appearance as Sheriff Taylor said this morning. She has another outstanding warrant you may see come through, and that may be done via Zoom. I don't know if the court will bring her up again, but there's another warrant that was served this morning, I believe, on another matter, basically a failure to appear type thing. So that's the reason for no bond. Judge Gray did issue another gag order in this case. It'll, I think, verbatim state exactly what Judge Johnson's gag order said, so we're going to have to keep our comments rather limited today. But again, I want to thank the Sheriff's Department and all the investigators behind you and those who are off today. They've been doing an amazing amount of work over the past couple of weeks, and I know they're tired and exhausted. This is a case that tugs at everybody's heartstrings. To go to that funeral the other day, it just breaks your heart to know that Kamarie is no longer with us. And as a public service, please, parents, take care of your kids. Watch your kids. Be careful who your kids are around. Shouldn't have to state that, but it never hurts to remind everybody this is a bad world, and just let's take care of our kids. And I appreciate the Sheriff's Office working so hard to bring this to a conclusion. Thanks, Sheriff.
Good morning. I'll just reiterate what has already been said, and just to emphasize about your children. Please, parents, caregivers, everyone, please know something about who you allow your children to be around. I've worked in special victims and in sex crimes, and I can tell you from what the sheriff has told you and what Chief Blackman has said, and from what the DA has said, this case is really taking a toll on a lot of the investigators. It's very long hours, and these men and women of the Sheriff's Department of Russell County, men and women of the Columbus Police Department, and the men and women in law enforcement as a whole, this has really struck a nerve with us because we care about our kids, we care about our community. So the only thing I have to say is that please monitor where your kids are and who they're around. Thank you.
Again, I thank everybody for coming. I would typically answer questions at this time, but we were going to forego that, and anything that we have coming up, we will keep you abreast on as far as any court dates and things of that matter that is of public record. So thank you for coming, and be safe.